What? That's literally how the debate went. Okay, so what's up? It's your boy Anye Lee here, joining you for another edition of Icon City News. In case you missed it yesterday or tonight, depending on when you're seeing this, was the first and only vice presidential debate. It was contentious for sure. Take a look.
I'm so glad we went through a little history lesson. Let's do that a little more. In 1864.
Well, I'd like you to answer the question.
No, Mr.
Yes.
Vice President, I'm
Please.
speaking. I'm speaking. Okay. And have a conversation, okay?
Please.
Okay. Joe Biden will not raise taxes on anyone who makes less than $400,000 a year. He has been very clear about that. Joe Biden, and I want to add, but Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
I have to
I'm
weigh
speaking.
in.
Yep, you
So
can have
I
15 more
wanna-
seconds, and then we'll give the Vice President
Thank
a
you.
chance to
So I
respond.
want to ask the American people, how calm were you when you were panicked about where you're going to get your next roll of toilet paper?
So as you can see, things were really contentious between the two of them. Depending on who you ask, everyone thinks that their candidate won. So if you're Donald Trump, you think Mike Pence won. And if you are Joe Biden, then you're proud, okay? As you should be, right? Obviously, I am proud of Kamala, I think there's something in it for everybody. A lot of people are talking about the way that Pence was, interrupting Kamala a lot. Definitely nowhere near as crazy as that whole food fight / shit show that was the first presidential debate, but still a little contentious all the same. I think Kamala had some really strong points. As you could see in the intro, it's kind of like, she kind of had to school the guy a bit. And some of her strongest moments, I believe, came when she was talking about the economy and coronavirus. I have another clip right here.
Joe Biden believes you measure the health and the strength of America's economy based on the health and the strength of the American worker and the American family. On the other hand, you have Donald Trump, who measures the strength of the economy based on how rich people are doing. If the public health professionals, if Dr. Fauci, if the doctors tell us that we should take it, I'll be the first in line to take it, absolutely. But if Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not taking it.
Facts. I've been knowing, people getting the flu vaccine for a while. I think I've gotten it a couple of times. It does vary in efficacy. So and you can look this up. Sometimes they will even tell you, I think it was maybe 2 years ago, it was a really bad flu year, and the efficacy was 32%, which means that it was only successful in preventing 32% of people from catching the flu. That may sound like a little bit, but, every little bit counts. And when it's the difference between being the percentage of the difference, when that percentage represents the difference between living and dying, it's, something, that really, really matters. Now, everybody's not ecstatic, obviously, by Kamala's performance. Senator Chuck Grassley, he wrote, what did he put here? He said, after the Pence-Harris debate, he says the winner is usually the one you would want to have dinner with. And he's saying he thinks that Pence will get the invitation because he seems to be most likable. And to that point, well, there are 2 points that I want to make, right? So the first point is, everyone knows that whole likability thing is a dog whistle for anti-feminism. It's anti-woman. It's, how fucking likable, is Donald Trump? Give me a break, so this, who would you, and it is a question that is asked during a lot of presidential debates, who would you most likely want to get a beer with. But I hope that, the electorate is getting to a point where, we're looking deeper than just, okay, this person seems like they would be cool to have a drink with or whatever. So that I hope is something that we can change and move forward. I personally found Kamala likable. And just as a note to the people who consider themselves as undecided, the point is, if you don't know how you're voting 27 days before the election, you are most likely going to vote for Donald Trump or not vote at all. And that's just what it is right now. There's Kamala's been getting a lot of flack for being a former prosecutor as district attorney, and then later as attorney general of the state of California, as she likes to point out, the largest Department of Justice, second to the United States Department of Justice. The moderator asked, she asked this question of both candidates. I think I have both of their answers. I definitely have Kamala's answer. But the question was, do we think justice was done? Or does she think justice was done in the Breonna Taylor decision or lack of a decision? And this is what she had to say.
I don't believe so. And I've talked with Breonna's mother, Tamika Palmer, and her family. And her family deserves justice. She was a beautiful young woman. She had as her life goal to become a nurse, and she wanted to become an EMT to first learn what's going on out on the street so she could then become a nurse and save lives. And her life was taken unjustifiably and tragically and violently. And it brings me to, the 8 minutes and 46 seconds.
Okay, so it looks like I did not have that full clip. Basically, the gist of what she said is, she says she doesn't believe that justice was served. What I found really interesting is what Pence ended up saying in response. In response, he said, that as a prosecutor, that it was crazy for Kamala to question the outcome of a grand jury, the grand jury decision to not find any of the officers culpable for the shooting of Breonna Perry. And what I will just say to that is that an actual member of that very grand jury believes that the district attorney, David Cameron, who was also called out by Megan Thee Stallion in her last SNL performance, that guy, oh my God, do we have a picture of him? I should have had a picture of him because I knew we were going to talk about him. It's my bad. But I didn't know we were going to talk about him. But the point being that there was an actual member of that grand jury that said that they don't believe that they received the proper information regarding the Breonna Taylor case, and didn't receive, and having given enough information, the outcomes could have been different. So anyway, that is the debate in a nutshell. We kind of went off. I'm sorry I didn't have that last clip for you. You can definitely, I'm sure, find it anywhere online. My question for you today is, though, who do you believe won this debate? Leave your answer in the comments section. And for the latest in inclusive urban current events, keep it locked to iconcitynews.com.